Hey everybody, we are back with another episode of Hot Takes. It is Christmas, it is the time of year where Dota fans come together with League of Legends, Counter-Strike comes together with Valorant, and we are here today with almost all of the editors on Hot Takes. We've got Dan, we've got Lee, and we've got Davide. How are you guys doing?
Fantastic. Love Christmas spirit.
Delighted to be here. Yeah, I mean, I didn't get the memo about Christmas jumpers. You guys have just defaulted to it, and I was not prepared. I'm in like a Navi top.
It's December. Weren't you wearing it already? Weren't you wearing it anyway?
What?
December.
No.
You should be wearing a Christmas jumper every day.
Yeah, I've only got like a really balked Gordon Ramsay one that says like fucking Christmas on it. I think it's the only one I've got. So yeah, I don't think you wanted to see that on here.
See, I've gone all out. I've got my Christmas jumper and my Hotspawn t-shirt on underneath, and we've like got the logo. I'm branded up. We're good to go.
Yeah, the Hotspawn Christmas jumpers didn't come in time.
We should
Next
have
year.
done that.
Next
Next
year.
year, we're gonna
Yeah,
have
yeah, we'll
Hotspawn
make that
Christmas
happen.
jumpers. I mean, you guys have got Hotspawn mugs, right? I don't even have that.
What? Hang
Mine's
on.
in the apologies. Mine's in the dishwasher. So, but I've got my Christmas mug instead.
You guys have got Hotspawn mugs? What?
Yes, we
What?
do.
Hang on.
We're legit podcasters, mate.
Oh, I mean, I'm a part timer, so that makes sense.
That's it.
Yeah.
See, like you're a lot more consistent than we are. We're just like, oh, I guess something happened. Should we
Yeah.
do one? But it's fine. It's all good. So I mean, we've been talking about whether or not we're actually going to take time off for Christmas, and I'm saying to everybody, if you're taking time off for Christmas, like let us know so we can cover. Every single one of us has been like, I will be off on Christmas Day. That's it. So
Oh no,
it's
I'm taking Boxing Day as well, mate. I'm going around the sales and all that.
honestly, call yourself part
Yeah.
timer.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay, so the thing that I particularly wanted to talk about, and the reason that we've got ourselves all together here today, we've got our first year of Hotspawn out of the way. Now, what people might not realize if they've only known us through Hotspawn is that all of us have worked together for a lot longer than we've worked on Hotspawn. However, I think this is maybe the first time we've all been together at the same time, right?
Probably, yeah.
Maybe we did
I
record
think
some
so.
podcasts at the start of the year, but
Yeah,
maybe.
because I know
don't-
that
We'd have had
I've
3 or
met Lee
4
and
of us.
Davide at MSI.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Lee and Dan have also met on podcasts before. I don't know that we've all been together at one time before.
Yeah,
I
no.
don't think so. I don't think I did with Dan for sure. I know I for sure did with Lee because we do it on a weekly basis, but I don't think so with Dan. So
That's
it's a
it.
good
Well,
one.
that's why we had to get together because it was getting ridiculous. Honestly, I would have liked it if Jordan could have joined us as well, our Fortnite editor, but he didn't reply to the message. So here we are. So I guess
Part
in our
timer, I
first year,
guess.
Like, yeah, I
that's
cannot face any accusations.
it.
Terrible.
I want to know what your guys' number one highlight from your first year at Hotspawn was. We've had like a banging first year. Davide, I'm going to ask you first. What was your number one moment from your first year in
There's
Hotspawn?
only one. There's only one, and it's obviously the Faker interview. Holy shit! It's been
Yep.
like doing interviews for 3 years. This was probably the highlight reel. It's also because it was the last Faker interview we could get one-on-one at Worlds. So it came out of nowhere because I just remember that day. So basically, it was like we send requests, interview requests the day before the match day, and technically they get approved the night before, the evening before the start of the next match day. And the day before, I had no one, so I was just chilling out with a friend around Shanghai. And then out of nowhere, I get like a series like of text messages from friends and colleagues and media colleagues, and it was like, "Oh, you got Faker, you got Faker," and I didn't check the phone at the time, so I was like, "Why do I get so many notifications all of a sudden?" And then I started watching. I was like, "Oh, you got Faker! Congrats!" And I was like, "What?" And then I rushed back to the WhatsApp chat, the right WhatsApp chat, and was like, "Oh shit! And then I rushed back to the hotel to just get the interview done because like I had no expectations. And that was like probably one of the most stressful interviews I've had this world, just because of how it just like Faker is, and obviously how
Mm.
much he means not just to League but just to esports in general. And I just wanted to make sure for the first time to just give like a good impression, a good base, without actually being overly let's say asking too many spicy questions in that sense. And I just try to move it like towards self-centered, self-focused about himself, and that was basically it. Kudos to the translator, their GM Becker. He's super great. Most of the time when I get T1 interviews, it's him doing the transition work. He does a really great job at trying to explain it himself. I actually made him like sweat that day because like I've asked some tricky questions to Faker about self-improvement, and he was like, obviously when you get into like those terminology and stuff like that, he kind of like lost himself. But then I was able to trace it back through another friend that listened to the audio later, so we were able to like do like I guess I would assume like a correct translation on it. But honestly, like live translating is so hard. I must
I
say.
bet. Oh my
I
god,
think
yeah.
it's so like kudos to everyone, like especially Jisun. I think she's the one that does the Korean English interviews for Riot. I think she just is so good in her work, and just how she's always able to like instantly transmit what the player is saying, but not also just his like the words he's saying, but also like the way he's saying it. Or like
She gets
he's
like the feeling and the context across
exactly
both
she
directions
does
really
like
well.
she immediately does it. And she does that with both the interview, like with both the player and us. So I think that's really great to have her. I also had her like help out a couple of other Korean English interviews, and yeah, it was honestly insane. I think I've been waiting for T1 Faker's interview for like so long.
Yeah.
I got basically everyone. Technically, the only one that's left for me right now is Doran. And you could also technically say Pace, because obviously Gumayushi left and now Pace is there. But like among the 2025 roster, I basically got to talk to everyone except him. So that was a little bit unfortunate, but I must say I'm very, very happy and pleased with how the year went.
Out of
Yeah,
curiosity, because I have no idea how like league interviews work.
Mhm.
Like, what made like obviously you say you didn't expect to get Faker. Like, what made him like go, yeah, I'll do that one? Do you know?
What do you mean?
Like why are they just assigned randomly by Riot? Like, what's the process? Or
As far as I know, it's mainly just player, like we submit media, we just submit requests through Riot sends them to the team, and then teams usually select them.
okay, cool.
That's like the usual process. So it mainly just comes down to how much, like how, first of all, how many interviews the players want to take or the team wants to take in total. They have like minimum set requirements, but that gets basically like fulfilled every time. That is fulfilled basically every time, as far as I know. And then yeah, that's it. So it comes down to a bit of luck. So obviously, I think both teams, like everyone, will try to accommodate different outlets. Not sure whether there's like more stuff in there, but I guess this is like kind of the process that we go through. I think
I like the Faker ones are like, because pretty much everyone's asking for Faker
yes,
every time. So it's pretty much like of the Western media, T1 might, if they're feeling generous, they'll go, all right, we'll have one for Western one, we'll go for this one. And then you like kind of
yeah.
open.
So
process
basically,
everything.
like I've been. So also every match day we can submit requests for 2 players per team max. So like I usually went with Faker plus someone else, Faker plus someone else, Faker plus someone else. So and even then you're not sure that you're going to get Faker.
Yeah, because I always
I
felt
think,
like every other person is doing that as well.
Yes, like everyone does it. Like everyone will do it. Like, and
You're
also,
stupid not to, though. That's the point. Like, you'd be
yeah,
stupid not to ask for Faker.
yes, exactly. Like I think I only did it once where I did not submit Faker, just because I really wanted to get someone else, or at least get someone. That was like last year, and so like I
In
said,
the
okay.
T1 office, they were saying, "We'll give that guy Davide the one today, then." And then, oh wait, he didn't try. Oh, never mind.
Kind of. Who knows? Maybe it should have come earlier, but yeah, basically that's how it went, and I guess I'm really pleased with how Worlds went. It was super stressful, I must say.
Yes.
I just remember like going on the media day. A media day was like 14 interviews across 2 days.
Oh
2 days,
my god.
like we had, like yeah, we saw, and basically like everything got. I think it got approved and confirmed like like basically as I was flying in to China, and that was like 2 days before the media days. And so like I was trying to figure out what to do with it, and just try to at least ask some stuff across, like relevant stuff to all teams, and then just try to bounce the question, like the questions and answers back and forth to make it a little bit more connected and fluid. Glad it worked out. I think it's kudos to everyone who does interviews. I think it's super tiring, at least for me. It really drains you out to, because we also have to like set the pace. We have a limited set amount of time. We get like 10 minutes total, and so you want to ask as much as possible, but you also have to be aware that you don't want it to make it too quick or like too blasted in that sense in terms of like output. And also you want it to have like a start, a development, and a finish, like every story, like every interview does. So that was really challenging, and I'm glad we made it through. I'm glad the numbers did well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I've actually always thought this about League, because you guys have so many like Chinese and Korean players, you have to
Mm.
deal with translations and interviews a lot. And that's not something like we really have in Dota and CS. Just by virtue of the fact that there are virtually no Korean players and very few Chinese ones. And we had a situation in IEM Cologne. Oh, when I say we, Dan had a situation at
Yeah.
IEM Cologne where we were given Chopper. He's the IGL for a Russian team called Spirit. Bro did not understand a single fucking word Dan said.
But he let me ask the first question. Like I said hello, I said we're gonna do this, and he said okay. And then I asked the first question, and then he goes, "Actually, I don't speak a word of English." And like
We
he
had to
was,
get the team manager to
yeah,
come
yeah,
over.
and like translate the questions live in real time.
It probably was. He speaks a bit, and then he heard that thick Scouse accent, and he said, "Oh
And he was
shit,
like, "No, I'm gonna
maybe not."
struggle."
I'm out.
No,
That's
to be
all
fair,
the comments we get on CS content.
oh my
Everyone just
god,
calls Dan Paddy the Baddie every single interview.
the TikToks are brutal. I know the Mezzy TikTok did quite well, and I've not dared to look at the comments. I am not brave enough for all that, so I will just keep ticking on and get shown something occasionally. But Chopper in particular was quite nice about it, but that was a
Yeah.
very awkward situation. I think the footage of it still exists.
Yeah, we've
Presumably
still
we
got it.
edited it out, but
hmm
the footage of all of this happening in real time still exists somewhere. Yeah.
And I'm holding it over your head for the day that you try to leave Hotspawn. I'm going to threaten to publish that footage unedited.
Yeah, no, he was nice about it, so I'm not gonna complain.
What's like the
Absolutely.
nicest CS player you guys talked to? Like
Oh
Dota, if you wanted to.
no, I can. Yeah, Skulls. I think Skulls from Imperial. Like you can really just tell when you meet someone straight away, like how they're gonna be, and just, like when they introduce themselves by the first name, they're like, "Hey man, I'm Felipe," and I'm like, "Yeah, this is a nice kid." Like,
Is he Brazilian by any chance?
yeah.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
You can guess it by the name, but I guess this will make sense as to why he's so friendly.
Yeah, no, he
Yeah.
was a real lovely kid, and I was like, you know what, man, I'm rooting for you now. Like, it doesn't matter what, I'm in.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I think
probably
mine has
Skulls.
probably got to be Zyru, but I think it's
Really?
partially, yeah. So I interviewed Zyru the first time after they just won Katowice. So he was like high as a kite. He was having a great time. And I think that was probably one of my best interviews, like vibe wise, because it was like the last Katowice. They just like won the first time. Like, yeah. But to be honest, I get asked this a lot because I think Counter Strike has kind of a bad reputation in terms of vibe. I've never had a situation in Counter Strike where someone has been a dick ever. Like, not one
Well,
single interview.
well, we know I've had one, but we're not going to talk. We're not going to name any names. I have had one where I'm like, I will never interview that player again. But
Yeah,
like literally out of every interview I've done, I can safely say I've had one bad experience, and everyone else has been absolutely lovely.
yeah, which is
So
good.
yeah,
I actually think it's such a weird thing because I think I only also got one either. But I think
Ah,
it's
really?
also yeah, that was like it was not this year. I must say it was from a couple of years ago. I think it also goes to say that I was probably a little bit inexperienced. So like you try to ask some of the spicier questions, but if you ask it in a given way, it might sort of come out as not great. So I think when I went back on that, I was like, okay, I definitely could have done better. Which is also like made me more aware of like these guys are obviously humans. Like they go through stressful stuff every single day. You just try to find a way to like ask it in a nice way, hoping that they give you like a relevant answer. But I think honestly, from my experience this year, I think the Valorant guys are super fun. Or like they're
Yeah,
super chill to work with, like to talk to. Like you can talk about anything and they'll probably like give you some stuff and they're super open about it. Like no one is dodging stuff basically, and then like and they actually even play around with you if you're funny enough to make them laugh. So I guess like Lee is probably the one that gets the most fun out of us whenever Valorant comes around.
probably. I
Oh
think we
yeah,
do have to talk about your bromance with Boaster this year, Lee. It is. I ship you guys. I think you'd be great.
he's got like no, he's got a few other bromances with people far more important than me. But yeah, he's always great, and like because I've done him a few times like throughout the year, and then yeah, had a bit of a rapport going, and then I got him like the day before the champs final in Paris, which I think, as far as I could tell, he did one interview that day as well, and I was the lucky guy who got that one. Saw his face light up when he realised it was me in person, as you'd
Aw.
expect. I
You
was
know
going to
what?
say
I
that
thought
as
this when I watched the video because I was like, "Oh, they met in person. I'm so excited." And then you're there like, "Hello, it's Lee from Hotspawn." I was like, "Come on, Lee."
right. You don't have to really drag me out on camera. Jesus, bloody hell.
I
No,
was
but I wasn't.
expecting. I was like, "You're gonna come out and do a dance with him," you
So I
know?
did have no. Actually, to be fair, I had like a little segment planned that was a funner one, and the recording messed up a bit. Plus, it just like kind of fell a bit flat. Like he didn't. I think maybe he was like knackered and that, and just it didn't come
Yeah, yeah.
over that impressive. Because he's like of a similar age, like as me from the UK. So I did a thing where I just had like 10 pictures of random UK people from like 15 years ago to just, like ask you what your reaction was. It was like Jeremy Kyle and it's like all like the random like celebrities like that. But anyway, better luck next time. But I wasn't going to say that as my best moment. I kind of had two actually. Just probably the best one in terms of like an event and what was actually happening during it was easily the champs final. The third map, Fnatic 11-1 down, 2-0
Yes.
down.
I
It
watched
absolutely
that.
dicked, and it
Holy.
Yeah,
was
I
just
did
like
as well,
looked like
yeah.
it was about to be the shittest final ever. And yeah, then they turned around the map and won it. Bit of a shame that they didn't win the series in the end of it, but that map, like on its own, was like absolutely insane. I was going to say probably the best personal moment, and I was a bit sad that Davide didn't say the same one. Was it not us all meeting in Madrid for the LEC finals? The 3 league guys.
True. I mean, definitely. I mean, honestly, like you put me on the spot like this. I must go. I must go with Faker. I'm sorry, but like it's like the achieving like peak personal moment. But obviously, like in terms of team, I definitely had super moment with you guys as well. Like honestly, like shooting the podcast on in Madrid in our like hotel room was like kind of crazy because I was sleep like I was staying in a room with Ethan and then Lee was there. Uh, then we were like, okay, we have some space in our room. Can we find a way to like shoot our podcast inside the room? But then we realized there were like a lot of like logistics issues with like how do we get the PC? Where do we set up the cameras? Because that was like a big ass bed in the middle, and then you had like the table, like along a corridor. So it wasn't like really that spacious in that sense.
So you guys were like saying the first 2 days, I'm not sure we'll have space, not sure we'll have space, and I just turned up and started flipping the hotel room upside down.
Yeah, we started like moving out
everything
everything the last day. Like I think it was like the last morning or something like that. Oh no, the last day it was the second to last day. But yeah, and then we used the mugs to like block stuff on the table. Like it was great.
Scuffed.
It was insane. And also like the LEC finals, that was actually great. I think, like in terms of the viewing experience, it just goes to show how League, like watching League offline, usually is best whenever the crowds are loudest. I think, regardless of who they are or where they come from, which team they root for, as long as you get like super like loud people, like people shouting and chanting, it's always so much fun for me. Which is why like I kind of sometimes I get jealous of CS because like I watch some of the videos that go through socials about like Paris and people like shouting like 20,000 people venues. I'm not sure whether I would be able to live there because I suffer whenever there's like a lack of oxygen. But I know you would have like an insane.
Most humans do.
I mean, I know. Fair, but it's just like I get anxious first. I get anxious faster than anyone else. I didn't really have that in World's Finals. Like the World's Finals were, the venue was probably the greatest, I would say. Like the setting, like the stage was super nice to watch. Like they try to go with the right elements in the sense of trying to tie the game with the esports side of things. Like they had stuff from Xingzhou, which is basically one of the team champion of the last season. But then there was only like one mega screen in the middle, and that was it. I really like usually to have like 4 screens, like a boxing ring kind of thingy, which we had at Madrid. And I think that as a viewing experience, especially like if you were further away from the center, it's much better.
Most impressive thing I saw at Madrid though, because we were like right up at the back.
Yeah.
And the screens were alright, but like from way up the back, it was hard to see if you're trying to look at like the gold the champs had or like see actual any written text. It was really hard, and we were just up the back chatting, and suddenly Davide goes, "Was that Hotspawn one on there?" It was like, and it basically was on the Spanish broadcast. They had a quote, and then at the bottom like hotspawn.com. I was like, "How the fuck did you read that?"
I'm sorry. I'm very lucky that despite playing games ever since I was 4, my eyesight is pretty good. And
I thought mine were alright, but bloody hell.
I've never had issues. Like I'm happy. I'm glad I get, like, how do you call it, Hawkeye in English? I would assume.
Well, like 2020 vision, I think.
Yeah, cause something like that. I think I actually got, because I think in Italy like it usually does in 10s. So like 10 is like 10 out of 10 is the best. Or like apparently like the benchmark. I used when I was younger, I usually used to get like 13, 14. I got 14 on one and 12 on the other. So technically I can see better than the average or something like that. I'm not sure. But I'm playing too much, using too much PC is making me how do you say it? Like whenever you see lights become like blurry. I'm not sure what's the English term for it.
knows?
I don't think I know either.
Wait. Let me find. Keep on going. I'll look for it.
Well, Sophie, what was your best moment of the year then?
This is, you know what? I actually didn't think of one before I started asking you guys what yours was. You know what? Okay, mine is gonna have to be the Thunderpick World Championship, and
You took mine. That was going to be mine. Oh, for fuck's sake. Maybe we can
well,
do it
now you got to
together.
think of another one. Yeah.
Okay.
So for a couple of reasons. First one was that I've done a lot of these events, like a lot. I think I'm coming up on 30, and I am almost always on my own. And I think everybody knows how fucking hard it is to work an event on your own. And like, you've got to do all your interviews yourself. You got to sort out all your tech. You don't have anybody around to help. And then when we were in Malta and we had like, it was me, it was Dan, it was Philip, it was like the whole team. We had social media. We had like everybody there. I was like, ah,
There was
a
like
dream.
there was like 7 or 8 of us, and it was
Yeah.
like it was crazy because you were just asking everyone for so many different things. You obviously had like Max running around on stage with a camera, which was
Yeah, my
crazy.
boy Max,
Yeah.
he
Shout
really
out
stepped up.
Max.
Yep. We're yeah, gonna be working with Max a little bit more in the future. I think he was really really amazing. Yeah, so I think that has to be mine. And also because we did so well on that, we've now got the same event for 2026 and 2027,
Yeah.
which is obviously great for Hotspawn and like the longevity that we want as a brand. So yeah, I think that's probably got to be mine.
By
Dan,
that you
why was it
mean
your favorite?
by that when you say the longevity we want as a brand, that is a fancy way of saying we all love having a job in esports and we would love it to stay that way. But
Yeah.
like when I say it's my favorite, it's more because of our role in it. Like
Mm,
it is by far the biggest thing Hotspawn have ever done for the brand, I would say, just because we are like as the media partner, do you know how fucking wacky it is to like watch the broadcast and see the name like on like a rotating thing, and it's on all like the big like LED screens like at the events rotating in front of the players, and just seeing the Hotspur name like that is bizarre and like quite surreal. And then obviously me and Sophie were on the broadcast, which was like as in like they aired our interviews on there, and it was like like properly introduced like real interviews, and I was like, oh, like this is
oh my
weird.
god, I'm a journalist.
People are going to actually watch this, and like a lot of people are going to watch this, which was quite scary. But we were sort of given the good tools to succeed there because they had a really cool camera crew and all of that.
Yeah. Camera
But
crew
that
was
was
amazing.
being on the broadcast and like going back and screen recording it and like sending it to my family and be like, look, I was on the broadcast. Like that was fucking cool. That was really cool.
Yes, because
And
was it you said that your dad thinks that you make Counter Strike or something?
oh, we're never gonna get there. It's one of those things where like he's like, what's that game you work on, son? Counter
But by
Strike.
the way,
Yeah. How many people play?
guys, like how, like I don't want to get like into families and stuff, but like how did you guys explain to eventually like friends and parents? Because I've had tried to have like this conversation with a lot of people, and people they either thought I made games.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They either think I make games or they think I play. And especially
Yeah.
like my granddad. This is to make an example. Like my granddad thought I was playing for the last like 4 years, ever since I started doing media. And only this year, when I like no, actually like end of last year, when I went back to China on my own, and I had to explain him and show him what I did at Worlds last year in Europe. He then understood a little bit better about my job, but then it's just like a mess. Because like, everyone I tell them like esports, apart from the fact like people in Italy don't really know what esports is. So if you go explain what esports is and you tell them like competitive gaming, they'll just think, oh, so you play, and that's the only thing they'll tell you. And then I say, yes, technically, I'm not the one playing. I just go and cover all the news that go behind. I was like, but do actually people watch this? I'm like, yes.
I find the
Yes.
best way to explain
Just a
it is
couple of
to
millions people around the world, you know.
compare it to like football and like
Yeah,
football
same here.
journalism. I think that's the most
Yeah.
easy way to understand it because you just like
Yeah, but what if you get someone like Sophie who doesn't know anything about football? I'm sorry, I just had to.
No, I'm talking about like explaining it in
That's okay.
context
Yeah,
to like the
that's
people
totally
around.
fine. I deserve
Explain
that
it.
drive-by.
Explaining it in context to like the people around me. It's like, yeah, when you read the paper and you see like an article about a football match that happened yesterday, like a recap. Like I just do that, but for people that play games competitively, and they generally get the gist of it. Except my dad, who still thinks I make Counter-Strike, no matter how much I explain. And he's like, yeah.
Man, you need to go to Valve then. I'm sorry. It's a calling. It's a calling.
If I
Find it,
get
like, even
Valve money,
after-
I will go to Valve.
I think like even after people understood, like, because that was the thing I did is like, yeah, well, like how in football, like someone might interview a player, it would be
Mhm.
just doing that, but with a player of a video game. And people, it seemed like it kind of clicked. And then later on, I like went to cover my first event. I was like, oh yeah, so it's MSI London was the first one I did in person. And yeah, I was like, oh well, there's an event in London that I'm going to, and then that's the thing. Oh, what are you playing then? I'm thinking if I told you I was gonna go to the World Cup, would your first thought be, are you playing? And like, it was so funny. Yeah, just like that.
People
No.
don't. What I find that people do quite struggle to grasp with, like outside of esports, is that the people at these tournaments are the same people. Like they
Oh,
think,
yeah.
oh, they go to one tournament and it's a bunch of people like taking their PCs and competing for millions, and then it's like a bunch of
Oh.
different people who just like sign up for like the next one. Do you know what I mean? Because they don't see it as like an ecosystem where like. And when you explain to people, oh yeah, they're like real teams with salaries and like it's the same people with like storylines and like years of history behind them, and they have like sports psychologists. They're like, whoa, like I did not realize how serious this was. But yeah, that's what I find is that people don't grasp that it's like a continuous thing rather than a
I
string
must
of
say,
separate.
like in China, it's completely different. Like
Mhm.
my granddad knew about esports a little bit. Like he didn't know my job exactly, but he knew about esports. And my granddad is like nearly 80.
So,
So it's like
Yeah, that's good.
in China, I think it's much more known, especially among the I want to call them like middle-aged generation. So we're talking about people who are in their 30s, 40s. Just because I think it's something that already blew up kind of last decade, and some people already like used to play decades ago. So now it's really like very well accepted among the community, like I guess just like among the population. Obviously, you will still have many who never touch games to not know, but if you tell them like, do you know what League of Legends is? Do you know what Valorant? I mean, not Valorant, but like, do you know what CS:GO, like what CS:GO was, or like what's Counter Strike? Then probably tell you, yeah, it's a game, and like probably they'll even know what are like the basic rules about it. So it just goes to show that the more we keep on talking about it, the more likely people will continue to talk about it, and then hopefully down the generations, while in a couple of years' time, we're going to have actually like more and more people watching it. I think just the thing is we get so much stuff to watch that it's becoming a little bit impossible to follow everything. Like I wouldn't mind watching CS:GO, but like watching League, which has already like 4 or 5 leagues, then you gotta add Valorant, you gotta add. I also have like other sports, like Formula One, for example, in between. Like my weekends have turned into working weekends because it's like you watch games or you're watching games or you're working.
Yep.
And
That's
yeah, that's the media life, I guess.
It absolutely is. I think, to be honest, this whole thing is kind of easy for me in that because my dad is a gamer, so
Oh,
that
okay,
makes
fair.
it a lot easier for me. And also, like, even if people don't know what esports is, they don't know what I do, they know what an editor in chief is. They're sort of like, ah, okay, like journalism. And I'm like, in the loosest sense of the term for me personally, but yes, which does work a little bit better. But I always
But
sort of
I
tell
bet they
this.
didn't understand facilitator of journalism as your your latest title.
Yeah,
Davide,
exactly.
I've got one problem with what Davide said though. Someone a few months away, 30s ain't middle aged. I'm not having that. Not
Sorry,
having
I'm
that.
sorry. You're right. You're right. Sorry. I'll take that back. I'll take that back.
Thank you.
That's it. You
Appreciate
wait
it.
till you hit 30 and you start getting your debuffs. Like it's rough.
I turned 25. I know probably this is not probably the best thing to say right now, but like I started feeling my quarter life crisis this year,
Oh, fuck off,
and
man.
I turned 25 this year. But yeah, I guess I'm trying to stay fit, but I think it's just like I wish I just had more time to actually go and do sports. Like I've been like working like among personal goals, working out was one of the things I stick to this year. Like doing like I started playing paddle and stuff like that. So I'm glad that I've managed to stuck to my personal goals. Speaking of goals, what are the goals for next year? I want to hear from.
Uh,
I'm not sure. I'm sorry if I'm taking over as a host, but just like
that's fine. It's all good. It makes my life easier. Well, I think the more essentially we want to do more events, we want to cover more games, we're going to go to more places, more podcast episodes, we want bigger, we want better, we want to grow further, we want to make money is a big one. um, but yeah, I think I've been sort of been looking at the budgets that we have for travel, and I think we can do more next year, and that's really exciting. So because with Valorant this year, we actually didn't get to do any masters, and I would have really liked us to do masters as well as champs. So I think
Masters London
obviously
next year. Nice and easy.
Yeah.
that's it. Where's
Peak.
champs next year? China, Shanghai?
Shanghai, I think.
Yes, Shanghai.
Yeah, we can do that one as well. I think we'll
Yeah.
have a conversation
I
about
think
Santiago. Let's see what you think.
I think Shanghai is like I would suggest if they actually do it where I think they will. No insider info here. I'm just speculating based on how most events get done in Shanghai. You will probably have like the knockout stage somewhere across like the Mercedes Arena, which is the one that we use for Worlds this year. Again, I just wanted to put it out there in case anyone like I would assume like among the various venues that there are there, this is probably one of the best ones. It's like it's honestly one of the best. I think it's just for the esports viewing experience. And I think Valorant. I'm not sure how much of a following there is right now in China because of this year's like Chinese teams weren't the best. But I guess like if you get like Fnatic, Paper Rex, like the popular teams, like people will still show up. So
Okay.
definitely, I honestly had a blast watching, because they had a Masters in Shanghai last year, and that was right after MSI in Chengdu, and I went, and it was like. It was like they did like the group stage in a small venue. It was like in a basically like a port, like near the seaside, and it was like underground. So you just like you get in and you take a lift and you go down, and then there's like kind of like an underground-ish kind of venue, and there was like a couple of hundred spots. It was one of the loudest like tournaments I've ever been to, and it made me realize how insane Valorant fans are compared to League ones in terms of offline hype and adrenaline. And that was one day. It was the day they were like FunPlus was playing against JNG, I think, and FunPlus was actually doing pretty well on that occasion. It's like everyone was shouting like crazy. So Lee, make sure get your. Oh, you don't even need a visa right now, so you're good to go.
News.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm actually
Okay,
concerned
so
about Brazil. Sorry, I'm actually concerned
oh
about
no.
Brazil. Brazil in first time next year, in March. I'm not sure if any of you have experience going to South America, but
I've been to Ecuador, but not Brazil. So,
How was it?
I really enjoyed it. I loved Ecuador. It was incredible. I was there with Ecuadorian people, which I think helped. But apart from unless you like go near the Colombian border, then like you're fine.
Okay, fair.
So I'm not 100% sure how it would be in Brazil, but I think as long as you're not like an idiot and you're not
Nah,
just
for sure.
wandering around favelas, then you'll probably be fine. But it's
Be more
if
worried
it's
in the
not
venue if the Brazilian team loses. That's when you start sweating.
that's true,
Fing-
yeah.
Fingers crossed. I got actually a friend of mine who's Italian Brazilian. Shout out to Victor in case he ever watches this episode. Probably I'll keep it up before going there. He's basically like someone who lives in Brazil. But like family origins are Italian, and we met at EWC this year. He also does media stuff for Esports Radar. Not sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, as I said, we're not going to force you to go to Brazil. We
Nah,
just
for
want
sure.
that
I
clear.
really want.
If you
No,
would
no,
like
I
to
really
go
want to
to
go.
Brazil,
I
you
actually
can.
don't mind going. I actually don't mind going. I guess it's like always like a nice experience to visit places you would have never thought you would go to. You know.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it would be good. Well, we'll see. But I do have a little challenge for you guys for this podcast. So, this year on Hotspawn, we have put out well over 2,000 articles. We're coming up on 2,300 articles in 12 months, which is obviously very impressive. I have got the info here as to what the highest performing article in each of your games is, and I would like you to guess what they are. So I will kick us off for Dota because I didn't have to guess because I was getting this and I was looking at it. So the number one performing article for Dota was by our boy Owen, and he wrote the best TI fantasy picks, and that is the best performing article for Dota, closely followed by Gaming Gladiators withdrawing from the International, which was one of the hottest stories of the year and was not ideal from an org perspective. So, Dan,
Mm-hmm.
what was the highest performing Counter Strike article on Hotspawn in the year 2025?
Was it by any chance funny CS2 crosshair codes?
Yes, it was.
Which every day is like the highest viewed article on the site for some reason. Assuming something doesn't like pop off news wise, that is
I was thinking it
always
was
the highest.
like the market drop one.
Yes, the
one-
market
Yeah,
that
drop
one-
I
one
would have
went
assumed that
insane.
as well. Yeah.
Yeah,
That was second.
yeah,
It's had 2,000 fewer clicks than Funny
yeah.
Crosshairs. But yeah.
So about 10 days worth of clicks on Funny Crosshairs has beat it out. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Funny Crosshairs is like, I hope no one who works for another site ever watches this because we're like the top slot, and I don't want anyone to publish that article and knock us off that because otherwise the CS division's in a bit of bother. I think if Crosshair Codes gets knocked off or Funny Crosshair Codes, I
To be
would
fair,
imagine.
checking the analytics, we've got a Valorant one on the way.
Have you?
After seeing that one,
Nice.
number one.
See that one goes. Yeah, that was a bit of a random one.
Yep.
Is Agent Sleeves there as well?
Oh, good question. So I only did the top two. I've not done the top three.
Ah,
What is it? Agent Sleeves.
Agent
Agents
Sleeves.
Agent Sleeves is not in the top 10.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So the rest will probably be news then, I imagine. I don't think there'll be much
Yes.
evergreen there. Yeah.
Pretty much.
There's a lot of them. New CS2 update. A
I
lot
was
of them.
just
Yeah.
about to say, new CS2 update adds 17 new skins and spectator loadouts is your third one.
Yeah.
All right, Lee, you're up. What was the best performing Valorant
Um,
article of the year?
Is it Althea illness?
It is. It is. Althea to miss Clash with PRX. That is the number one
in.
performing Valorant article.
Yeah.
Actually thought this
Yeah,
would be really hard. Okay.
Because that one just because I remember we got it out like so quickly. Like we saw it on Twitter that Fnatic announced it, and I think we had an article out before like even like aggregators had just like reposted the news. So we were like hang on it and yeah, did pretty well.
Nice,
Not
nice.
sure. I
Okay, what
guess.
about the second?
Yeah. It's evergreen, right?
Uh, I would say it's evergreen in a very loose term of the word evergreen.
I know then. I thought it might have been like best Valorant players of all time. Like that one usually does all right.
It is
No,
not. It is
I'm
not.
not sure then.
It is the best VCT pick'ems.
Oh shit. All right, fair
Mhm.
enough.
Yeah. Honestly, people love pick'ems guides.
True.
Love the best ones.
That's it. Davide, best League of Legends article.
I would say it's probably like one of the two faker interviews we did this year. One, it's either mine from Worlds or the one from MSI that Nick did.
It is one of those, so I'm going to need you to guess which one.
Nick's one, because it came in
Yeah!
order. Okay, fair.
Yeah. Faker at MSI was
Yeah.
the #1 League of Legends article.
And then my other honorable mention was probably Puipo, the Puipo interview, but I'm not sure.
Whippo was very high. I think that was like
Yeah.
third or fourth on the list. But the second one was Yukino? Yukino?
Oh, shout out to
Wow.
Ethan then.
Yeah.
This guy,
Sounds like a friend.
yeah, our pal. But yeah, I mean, for me, I'm also looking at YouTube. I thought when you asked me about articles, like caught me off guard because I know my YouTube metrics well. I didn't know my article metrics well. I'm sorry.
This is exactly why I asked, because I was like, everyone's going to know their YouTube,
Yeah.
everyone's going to know their TikTok. I want to know the articles. Yes.
On a side note, my best one ever this year was that if you count worldwide views, I think it's either T1's Fakers short, like someone got a shorts for YouTube through our interview that got like a mil. And then
Yep.
but like in terms of long form, it's probably one of like those Chinese accounts on Bilibili that basically took my super interview and then added like Chinese captions on it, and that did
Yep.
like nearly 500K on
Were these the ones where
Bilibili.
they like completely edited you out and all of the
No.
Hotspawn
Actually, no.
writing?
They just take out like because a Bilibili is basically like YouTube. So what they
Mhm.
do is they'll just like take our, I would assume like our video from YouTube. They'll cut it a little bit in terms of what you call like the pauses in between. And then there's just a slap captions on it. Like, but they did fine. So
Yeah.
couple of probably it's a sign that we have to get our Chinese socials out as well, which who knows? Something might be in the
Get the
works.
copyright strikes going.
Man, I don't like. I've tried to do something about it. It's impossible. There's
Oh,
no
man.
hope.
Well, I guess that means that we just have to capitalize ourselves.
Yeah,
It
true.
is what it is.
It is.
Okay, cool. Last thing then. Had a very good 2025. What are you guys most looking forward to in 2026? Let's start with you again, Dan.
That's not fair. They get time to think about their answers. I am looking forward to most the Cologne major.
Mhm.
I think, because obviously with it being ESL, we know the press situation will be really good.
Yep.
It's Cologne and the major combined into one, so it's sad not to get two separate trips out of that, but it will just be bigger and better. And it's 10 years since the last Cologne major. So I know ESL are just going to sort of go all out for it and
Yep.
try to put on the best show possible. So yeah, the Cologne major is the big thing that I'm looking forward to. But beyond that, I will say I'm just interested to see how we come along with the Thunder Pickler Championship again, because if we are doing the media partnership again, the pressure is sort of on us to go bigger and better in our own
Oh yeah.
work there.
Mhm.
We've pitched some ideas there that I know are really fun and really cool. So let's see how they come out. I will let's say a sneak peek is we have pitched an idea in which we make like a YouTube video where I 1v1 a pro, and like
Ooh.
it's gonna go real bad if we can get that and make it work, and we can make it happen. But I think it'll be very entertaining.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
If you had to pick someone to 1v1, who are you picking?
fucking hell, I don't know, Carrigan. Just because I think maybe I could
Okay.
get, just because I think maybe I could get like 1 kill, like maybe. Because
Yep.
someone that like, I mean, at that level, they're all gonna absolutely embarrass me. Like, it doesn't matter if they're the biggest bot on the planet. Like, when it comes to CS pros, like they're just gonna brutalize me. So yeah, maybe we'll do it where like I have like a wall hack and they don't know, or something like that, just to like give me a chance.
Kind of seems like you're trying to mitigate the outcomes here.
Yeah, I am.
Okay, so we'll get you 1v1ing Donk, and yeah, then we'll make some good content.
That would be nasty. Like that would be, mate. If we get Donk at the Thunderpick World Championship, I will happily get absolutely murked by him just to have him there. Like that is fine by me.
I think if we get Donk, we'll get a 5-man Hotspawn team, and we'll all try and kill him one time.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yep, let's
yeah,
see.
that's my
Alrighty.
answer.
Okay, Lee, you're up.
Obvious one is this time next year, seeing 100,000 clicks on Valorant funny crosshairs. That will be really nice. But apart from that, probably, I mean, it's easily Masters London. Just
Yep.
the fact that it's, on home soil. Like the World's Final in London was wicked, like a full circle kind of moment, and having and MSI was as well. Having a Valorant one there is going to be wicked as well. So
Absolutely.
easy one that.
Easy. Okay, cool. Davide.
There's a lot to. I think obviously Worlds next year. But I think the one thing I'm looking forward to is hoping to see T1. I don't want to say it because I
Well,
probably. I just honestly want to see someone else win a world championship. Like as a big T1 supporter, like not like direct supporter, but just like in terms of like I think how they help with the ecosystem. I think just having all their teams come in is definitely will be good to see, because like I think this year T1 was kind of once again a little bit of a league of its own, even though like some teams came close. I think our Worlds is just another team. They always turn it up. So I definitely want to see like more competitive teams, especially outside of Korea, because I think most teams have struggled a little bit to catch up. So definitely more Western representation, Chinese representation, getting stronger and stronger. So the
BLG's
fans
winning it is the dream, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
Chinese mid laner winning it in China as well.
Yeah, I think it's just I think it's just needed. Personally, I'm probably going to get flamed for this, but whatever. I think it's just I want to see like some diversity. It's not like obviously I'm happy for Faker. I'm happy for
6 is enough.
everyone. Yeah,
6 is enough.
yeah. I mean, obviously, the more the better for Faker, but I guess I just want to see more teams trying to reach for it, and see better good gameplay overall. Because I think the games this year were a little bit messy, and as a League of Legends purist, I don't know, it ticked me off a little bit.
Absolutely. Alrighty.
Turn on
Well.
Sophie.
Oh, good question. Let me think. Okay, I'm gonna say a Dota one because I feel like I've lent into CS too much on this. I think so. TI this year is gonna be in Shanghai, and China has fallen off a cliff in Dota in the last few years. We've been so Europe West dominated, and particularly Europe West, but also Europe East as well. Europe has won every single iteration of TI since TI 7. maybe 6, so 2016, 2017. I would love to see a Chinese team win TI on Chinese soil. I think Chinese Dota should be so back. I would love to see it. We came close this year. XG got second at TI after. Oh, I just have to tell this story real quick because it was incredible. So there is a player in Dota. His name is Arme, and Arme has reached the TI Grand Finals 3 times. And each of these 3 times he's gone to map 5. And in each of these map 5s, he has lost to Magnus. Now, Magnus has not been in the meta really for, I don't know, maybe a year or so now. But map 5 TI Grand Finals this year, Amar, this guy who is, he's a controversial guy, okay? He's a bit of a shit talker. He picks Magnus, and everyone's like, it's the fucking psychological warfare, my man. Like, you don't even play Magnus. He's not in your hero pool, and you picked it to fuck with Arme. And he did, and it worked, and they won. um, so if that could not happen, or if we get a TI Grand Final, it's Arme, it's map 5, someone picks Magnus and he beats it. That would be the dream. However, what I would love to see most is a Chinese team winning Shanghai TI. That would be great for me.
Ooh. Ooh, that's a nice one.
Absolutely. Alrighty, well, I think that is it for us for 2025 in Hotspawn, and we will be back next year. So we'll be kicking off the season in Jakarta in Indonesia with a game that we actually haven't mentioned yet. It's we're going to be sending Zen to M7 for MLBB, so that's exciting. And yeah, thank you to everybody who has watched this far. Thank you to everybody who has clicked on Hotspawn, who has watched Hotspawn on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, the website, anywhere. None of us would be here in jobs without you guys. So thank you so much, and we'll see you next year.
Yes, please keep me
Cheers.
employed next year, guys. Thank you.